Hey, Moods of Overland viewers. I'm back out in a familiar place, the Pine Barrens, with a familiar face. I've got Bill following me in his Xterra. But the channel is entering a new chapter with a new vehicle. Stay tuned and see what that is. So, here it is. This is my 2022 Nissan Frontier Pro-4x. It has about 30,000 miles on it and came from Canada. This is going to be the rig that hopefully carries me on adventures for the next 20 years. I loved my Xterra. It's a great truck. I've had some cooling issues with it recently. I've had it almost 5 years, to 2008. I suspect this one's going to be head gasket. I had already replaced the thermostat, done a couple other things. I had done the both caps, the radiator cap and the coolant bottle cap. After our trip down to West Virginia, prior to Expo East, if I had had it out running around, it just did not get back down to a cool temperature by itself. I had to rev the engine to get the main fan going. I did also replace the secondary fan because at some point during the whole diagnosis of what was going on, that also stopped functioning. And so I suspect I'm going to be selling it as a project or for parts. That truck with 220,000 miles on it, already being like 16 years old, just wasn't going to be what was going to carry me as long as I kind of continued to be able to do this, to go out and do the overlanding and camping thing. And in thinking about that, and thinking about the fact that of late I seem to be spending more time fixing than out adventuring, and that impacts the ability for me to provide new content for all of you, unless you want to watch me fix the truck, and that's kind of a different channel. And then the other thing is, when I really thought about it, and having hung out with a bunch of people and been to various expos, at this point I decided what I really wanted was a mid-size pickup, so that I could put eventually some kind of topper camper on this, something like a Go Fast or a Lone Peak. So that's eventually where this is gonna evolve to. So this was a good little destination for our inaugural off-pavement trip of the new Frontier.
That's right.
I'd been hearing about this Seven Bridges Road, and I saw it wasn't far from a route on Onyx that was starting right by our camp. And so I figured I'd scout that since we were coming over anyways. And yeah, parked, I don't know, 50 yards. And then there's this little path down to the bay. Atlantic City off there in the distance. I don't know what lighthouse that is. Yeah, pretty cool out here. Worth a little trip. Stretch the legs of the new Frontier a little bit. New truck, see a little bit of new trails, as it were, even if this part's paved. But it was worth a little drive out here. And the bridges, a couple of them are really cool. They're one lane, wooden, and yeah, you're driving across them, which is pretty neat. So, starting today with this video, it's the beginning of, in addition to the adventures that I'll be doing with this truck, doing a full build. I think this is a good platform. It's one certainly that I'm familiar with. The Nissan Frontier, other than primarily cosmetic changes, has been more or less the same since it started. This is now the third generation. This is the current generation. This was the first year of the current generation, 2022. And the Frontier shared a platform with the Xterra. So there is a lot about this truck that's basically the same, and that I understand and that I've dealt with from a problem perspective, and it just made sense to me to go with a Frontier. This is also maybe the last sort of analog mid-sized pickup where it's not forced induction. This is a normally aspirated V6. A variant of the same V6 that's been in the Xterra and the Frontier from the beginning. On the inside, all kinds of switches. Yes, it's got a nice screen for CarPlay. I didn't have to install one, but for the most part, it's all switches that actually run to whatever they're operating, as opposed to everything going through a touch screen. And I just feel like this is going to be a platform that I know I understand, and it's one that should be as reliable as the Xterra and prior generation Frontiers have proven to be. I put maybe 10,000 miles a year on a rig, so given that, in about 20 years this should have the same amount of mileage as my current Xterra does. So this is it. I love it. The only thing I've really done so far is put a hard bed cover on. There was a tonneau soft cover on here when I got it, but living in the city and street parking, I wanted a hard cover. This is the Autosaver 88 one. This is basically the cheapest decent hard cover you can get for the well, for the Frontier, but probably for just about anything. And again, if my long-term plan is I'm putting some kind of top or camper on this thing, this is going to go away. So I didn't want to spend a lot of money on this. I think it was about $300 on Amazon. When I go and put the topper camper on here, I'll be able to sell this and, you know, get a couple $100 back. I'm really looking forward to doing some adventuring with this and taking you all along, and to the build process that I'm going to document on this channel. So this is definitely a big upgrade from a comfort perspective over the Xterra. I've got full leather. Oh, I think I'm going to want to put some covers on that just to protect it. I've got heated seats. I've got a heated steering wheel. I've got the sunroof. So it's definitely a nice place to sit while you're driving, be it on-road or off-road, but in particular getting to trails and camping that for me are typically a little further away. Yeah, so this is it, and I'll talk a little bit more about the plans I have for this, but that's what I've gotten. That's the rationale for it. If you've got questions or comments, you know, please post them on the video. I do plan to document the build process as I go through it with this truck for other third-gen Frontier owners and anyone that's interested. Thanks for joining me as I introduced my new overlanding rig, the 2022 Nissan Frontier Pro-4x. This is just the beginning of an exciting new chapter for Moods of Overland, and I can't wait to share the journey with you. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Frontier as an overlanding platform, and if you have suggestions for mods or upgrades, I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the transformation as we take this truck from stock to trail ready. Adventure is calling, and we're just getting started. See you on the next one.